How much does a Walt Disney World holiday really cost? You've tried being a detective, but you hit a dead end. Out-of-date info, scattered clues, a lot of wild guesses, tons of misinformation, all with dining plans thrown in. One person says one price, another says twice as much. And that woman from yoga swears she did it for £400 with her Tesco club card. But unless you know what actually drives the price, like hotel tiers, ticket types, time of year, and yep, even who you book with, you're basically guessing in the dark. In this video, I'm walking you through the real cost of a Disney World holiday, what matters, what doesn't, and where the sneaky charges hide. So you can skip being a Disney detective and plan with confidence. And if you want a guide who's done this thousands of times, me and my team are right here to help you book it.
My name's Martin, I'm a former Disney cast member, and now I help people like you have better holidays to Orlando.
Last year we booked over 12,438 happy holiday makers to visit the Sunshine State. That's a lot of churros. Plus we're rated 5 stars with Trustpilot too. So how do we shine a spotlight on that whole picture and make sure your Disney dream doesn't turn into a financial nightmare? Well, it all boils down to 4 massive factors that truly dictate your price. How you get there? Are we talking first class seats, economy or magic carpet? Where you stay, on site at Disney and Universal, in a villa or somewhere else? Who you book with? Because not all fairy godmothers are created equal. When you go, because peak season prices can make your wallet cry. So why does understanding all these 4 things actually matter? Because getting it wrong could mean wasting hundreds, even thousands of pounds on what should be the trip of a lifetime. This isn't just about money, the magical versus the miserable. For the Disney World trip you've saved for, getting this wrong is a huge deal. Now that we know why it's so important, let's dive into these 4 factors, starting with how you get there. Unless you're planning a grand US road trip finale in Florida or you're on a one-way cruise, chances are your magical journey to Disney World starts in the air. And let me tell you, airline prices can be wilder than a ride on Space Mountain. They depend on a few key things: when you fly, how far in advance you book, whether you go direct or take a scenic detour, and which cabin class you choose. When you fly makes a massive difference. You don't need a crystal ball to spot school holidays. Those prices practically scream kids are off. Even shifting your dates by just a few days can save you a fortune. We're talking flights up to 3 times more expensive during the holidays compared to term time. So here's your first hot tip. Be flexible. If your little ones can miss a couple of days of school, that flexibility could unlock huge savings. Trust me, the kids won't complain about an extra day at Disney. Peak times are pretty much any school holiday, with Easter and Christmas being the winner of high price Olympics. But don't despair. Stick around because we'll dive deeper into the best times to visit later in the video. This one's simple. If you want to fly during a busy period, book early. Those prime seats vanish faster than an ice cream on Main Street in the Orlando sun. And the longer you wait, the more you'll pay. Luckily, we're like the VIPs of the airline world. We work directly with airlines and actually have access to a limited number of seats before they even go on sale to Joe Blogs. That's you usually. This means you can snag your perfect flight months ahead of the crowd. During peak periods, flying indirect can save you a bundle, and sometimes it even comes with a bonus. I personally love flying via Dublin because you actually do US immigration there. That means one less thing to worry about when you land. Plus it opens up options from more regional UK airports like Scotland, the North East and Bristol, or even from across Europe. It's not just Brits we book to Orlando. Now, here's a little secret most people don't know. Upgrading from economy to premium or first class often doesn't have a fixed price linked to your original ticket. Those upgrade prices are independent. So here's a thought. You're on that plane for 9 hours. Would you rather spend a fortune on a slightly better seat or save that cash for something genuinely cool in Orlando? And finally, don't just stick with your usual airline. British Airways prices aren't linked to Virgins or Aer Linguses, etc. There's no rule that one will always be cheaper. One hidden gem we love about flying with Aer Lingus is free seat selection. Most airlines now charge for this, but if you book Aer Lingus through us, you'll know exactly where you're sitting months in advance. No random stranger surprises for you. Alright, you figured out how to fly there, but where are you going to sleep? Your choice of accommodation isn't just about a comfy bed, it's another massive factor in how much your Orlando holiday actually costs. Generally, staying on site at a Disney or Universal hotel will be a bigger upfront cost than their off-site equivalent. But don't grab that bargain basement motel just yet. Sometimes a cheaper room can actually cost you more in time, transport, and unexpected fees. We're going to look at 6 different types of places to stay, from budget savvy to pure pamper palace. Budget friendly off-site hotels, the stealth spenders. These won't cost you an arm and a leg for the room itself, which sounds like a dream, right? But here's the rub. Once you add daily park transport, plus those sneaky resort fees, your initial savings could be easily wiped out. Next are the off-site resort hotels. Think Floridays, Blue Tree or Sheraton Vistana. These are fantastic because they give you the best of both worlds. Hotel-like facilities with loads more space. You can snag 2 or 3 bedroom apartments with fully fitted kitchens and, crucially, more than 1 bathroom. Perfect for avoiding those morning queues. The downsides? Still figuring out park transport and sometimes, yes, resort fees to cough up. Now, let's get a little closer to the parks with the on-site budget hotels. These are hotels such as Disney's Pop Century or Universal's Endless Summer Resort. They offer amazing value for being in the magic. You get all the basic perks like free transport and early theme park entry. These are perfect if your main mission is to conquer the parks from rope drop to fireworks and just need a fun place to crash. Universal hot tip, the 2 Endless Summer Resorts are such brilliant value. There's honestly no point staying at a hotel on International Drive if Universal is your focus. Sure, some iDrive places have free shuttles, but they often run only a few times a day. Do you really want to wait for a bus when you could be on the Hogwarts Express? Moving up a notch are the medium hotels. Hello, Disney's Caribbean Beach or Port Orleans and Universal's Sapphire Falls. Rooms are bigger, nicer, the theming is cooler, and the pools are splashier. If you want somewhere genuinely relaxing and super close to the parks, these are the most popular choice for us Brits. They hit that sweet spot of comfort and convenience. And of course, there's the premium hotels. These are the big dogs. Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge or Grand Floridian and Universal's Royal Pacific or Portofino Bay. Expect more space, usually closer proximity to the parks. Sometimes you can even walk, and just an overall swankier vibe. And the perks? Disney's deluxe hotels often boast extra evening hours, letting you stay up to 2 hours longer in select parks. Imagine riding your favorite attractions with practically no queues. It's like having the park to yourself. At Universal, these premium hotels come with the absolute best perk: unlimited Universal Express passes for most attractions. This means you skip the regular line and basically waltz onto selected rides. No matter which on-site hotel you pick, both Disney and Universal offer a massive free transport network connecting your hotel with the theme and water parks. Buses, boats, even a cable car. It's all part of the magic, keeping your feet happy and your stress levels low. And lastly, villas are fantastic for larger families or if you simply crave more space to spread out. You get private pools, multiple bedrooms, and that glorious feeling of having your own home away from home. Price-wise, just like a hotel, these range from very affordable but older villas all the way up to mega villas, giving serious MTV Cribs vibes. The downside, you'll definitely need to rent a car or rely heavily on ride shares to get around. Chat with one of the team as we have one of the largest collections of villas in Orlando. Ever wonder if the person you book your Orlando holiday with really matters? Spoiler alert, it totally does for both your wallet and your sanity. You think a Disney World or Universal Orlando trip costs the exact same no matter where you book it, right? Nope. If you're booking with someone who books a lot, they're likely getting better rates from the parks and airlines. It's simple. They book more, so they get better deals. But here's the kicker. Cheaper isn't always better, especially if this is your first time or your last trip to Florida involved flip phones and dial-up internet. You're going to have questions, lots of questions. The average person asks over 100 about their Orlando holiday, apparently. So having a human to ask rather than screaming into the internet void is pretty darn handy. Booking online is usually a bit cheaper, and you already know why, don't you? Ever tried to actually speak to a human about something you've bought online? Utterly impossible. They work on smaller margins, so you get almost zero service, and your customer support usually involves a very polite but unhelpful chatbot. Well, good luck asking about the best fireworks viewing spots. Or worse still, who do you contact if your flights are cancelled? Book it yourself, sort it yourself. If you're lucky, you'll find someone in a high street shop who really knows their onions when it comes to Orlando. But most are trained to sell holidays literally all over the world. They've got sales targets to hit and sometimes even timers for how long they can spend with each person. So they're probably not going to have time to answer all your intricate questions about parade routes or the optimal ride strategy. Plus, with so many destinations to juggle, it's tricky for them to keep totally up to date with every single change in the parks. And yes, they tend to be pricier than online because those swanky shops, real people and rent don't come cheap. Next up are general travel agents working from home. This is a person who will look after you, which is a big plus. However, Orlando probably isn't the only thing they sell, so their pricing and expertise can vary. Not all of them are trusted travel partners with the parks and airlines, which can affect the rates you pay too. And a little warning, always be a bit suspicious of someone who's offering prices that are way cheaper than everyone else. You know the saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably involves a rogue person and some magic beans. And finally, you have a select few Disney World and Universal Orlando specialists. These are travel agents who quite literally live and breathe at Orlando. We're talking expert level knowledge of every ride, every dining plan, every hidden Mickey, and every Universal Express Pass strategy. Yes, it's usually a bit more than booking online, but you get a massive amount of personalized help. For example, we're proud to be trusted travel partners with Disney and Universal. But here's the best bit. That doesn't mean you'll ever get the wrong advice. If your Orlando guru thinks something isn't quite right for your family or budget, they'll absolutely let you know. Even if it means we get paid a little less, your perfect holiday is always our main mission. Stick around to find out the number one thing that really affects the cost of your Walt Disney World holiday.
You're wasting your time if you book your Orlando holiday anywhere else. Literally. Wait, what? Why does it matter where you book your trip to Walt Disney World? On average, people who book with us do 5 more rides and queue less every single day. So if you're in Orlando for 2 weeks, that's 70 more things you could do. We love helping people like you do more in Orlando, or do more Orlando, as we like to call it. So how does it work? You'll have a few calls with your Orlando guru. It's our job to find out everything you want to do and make some suggestions. Your guru takes around 9 hours to put together your personal park planner. This is your key to doing more Orlando. Along with tons of tips, we use cutting-edge tech to help you navigate the parks. And forget about reading all those restaurant reviews. Disney World alone has over 205 places to eat, and you'll find all the best ones for you in your planner. And don't worry, it's not some complex military-style plan. It's super easy to follow. Plus, it saves you watching hundreds of hours of YouTube videos or asking questions on Facebook just to get confusing and conflicting information. We're the Orlando gurus, so you don't have to be. Normally, our personal park planners cost £248, but when you book with us, you'll get this for free. Queue less and do more Orlando.
Let's quickly talk about the magical golden ticket that gets you past the gates. Park ticket prices do shift a little throughout the year, but honestly, they're pretty consistent. Think of your tickets as a largely fixed cost for your Disney dream. You want to go to Disney World, it's going to cost you X. But here's where the real magic happens. It is far, far cheaper to buy your Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando park tickets in advance. Seriously, we have access to special tickets that aren't available on the gate. For example, a standard 5-day park hopper with water park access bought directly from Disney in the US could set you back around $734 in August 2026. But for around the same price through us, you could instead get a whopping 14 whole days in the parks and Memory Maker thrown in. That's your digital Disney photos, usually worth an extra $219. We're talking almost 3 times as many days for your fun, plus all those priceless holiday snaps. So the longer you stay in Orlando, the better value your tickets become. With your park tickets sorted, if you stay a bit longer than planned, you're really paying out for just extra hotel nights and more delicious food. It's a win-win. More park time, more memories, and fewer holes in your wallet. And now for the grand finale, the real showstopper, the biggest factor of them all. When you go, this isn't just a small price tweak. We're talking a complete financial roller coaster that can swing your holiday costs by hundreds, even thousands of pounds. Seriously, a few weeks can make a colossal difference. This isn't just about how much you'll pay though, it's also about how busy the parks are. Picking the wrong time means paying premium prices to join very, very long queues. That's why this topic is so huge. I've actually recorded a whole separate video dedicated to letting you know the very best and worst times to visit Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando. Trust me, you don't want to show up on those dates. Tap to watch that video and make sure you're planning your trip at the perfect time of year.